you probably noticed there was a post with a really long document, and the really long document had all kinds of stuff in there about this quarter one project that I'm going to have everyone do. So in biology, quarter one is all about ecology, which is the study of ecosystems and all the living things in those ecosystems and how they interact um, with each other, with non-living things. Just that's what ecology is. So this project, most of your quarter one grade is going to come straight out of this project. And at first glance, it looks like a ton, and it kind of is a lot. But what I don't want you guys to do is like freak out or be nervous because it's literally going to last the whole quarter. It's not just something you got to sit down and do in like a week or even 2 weeks. Like it's going to take the whole quarter. So we're just going to do a little bit at a time. So don't let this really big document freak you out. Like, oh my goodness, it's huge and it's going to take forever. And like, don't think any of that stuff. You can relax. It's going to take the whole quarter, and we're going to do like a little bit each week. So by the time the quarter's over, we will have done all of our ecology units, and you will have completed this whole project by doing a whole bunch of little things. Um, let's see, Monday, which is today, the assignment was there's an ed puzzle post about biotic and abiotic factors. So biotic means living things, abiotic means non-living things. So in this video, you learned about living and non-living things, and you just answer the question, just like last week's ed puzzles. Um, Tuesday, all you have to do is read section 1 of chapter 2. It's real short, and there's a vocabulary activity to help you get used to some of the new vocab words that comes with all of our ecology stuff. Um, that's the only two like side activities or assignments this week. Everything else is just getting started on our quarter project. Um, so um, what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through some of this quarter project stuff with you guys to give you an idea of how to get started, what to be doing. So let me click this button here and find the screen that I want you guys to see. Okay. All right. If your screen says ecosystem diagnostics, give me a thumbs up. Do you guys see it? Awesome. Okay. I'm going to go through this. If you have questions while we're going through it, definitely ask me. You can type them in the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask me. But let's see. I'm going to go through this to give you an idea of how to get started. Um, First, these objectives, this is talking about the whole project. So let me go through this real quick. It says you're going to collect and analyze data within a local ecosystem. You're going to identify limiting factors of the ecosystem, explain how organisms interact, all the relationships in the ecosystem. You're going to measure and assess biodiversity. That means all the different living things in your ecosystem. You're going to assess the health of the ecosystem and then predict or infer outcomes giving different environmental changes. So again, these objectives are for the whole project. This is the stuff you should get out of doing this project. So in this project, you're gonna get to go outside. You're gonna be looking for a few things outside. And again, it's gonna be a big chunk of quarter one's grade. So this is actually gonna be, instead of a big test, we're not gonna have some big quarterfinal test. This will be a big part of that. So and it's gonna kind of replace a quarterfinal as well. It's gonna be a big chunk of that. So we're gonna be, as we said, studying ecology, and you're gonna be able to look at a local ecosystem to do it. And like it says on this last line down here, it's a good way to get away from your Chromebook for a little while. So that'll be nice after doing all of this digital stuff. So here, first let's think about how we're gonna choose our ecosystem. What an ecosystem is, it's a community of organisms and their environment. So we're not just talking about a place, we're talking about all the natural things in that place, in that location. So grass, plants, trees, bugs, little animals that you might see outside, like squirrels and rabbits and whatever else you're going to see out there. And part of an ecosystem is the non-living stuff too, so dirt and rocks and air and water and things like that. Um, so obviously to do this, you're going to have to pick a place that's outside. And the easiest thing to do is just your own yard, like your front yard or your backyard or something in the neighborhood. If you go outside and pick your yard, that's absolutely perfectly fine. The only thing you want to avoid is like a parking lot. Like you're not going to want to pick some big concrete parking lot. You're going to want to pick an area covered in plants and animals and bugs and dirt and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, number one, pick a location that's not hard to get to. So your yard, the park, just something that's real easy to get to. Um, keep it interesting with variety. Again, don't pick a spot that's like a parking lot. You're going to need lots of variety out there. Number three, you don't have to be too crazy about that one. It says pick a spot the size of half a football field. Like you do not have to worry about that. Like again, your yard, that your yard would be fine, or the park, just an outdoor place. Now, here's a few important things to keep in mind. Like number four, permission. You do not want to pick a place that's private property. Like you want to pick a place that you have permission. Again, like something like your own yard or the park or something like that is going to be perfect. Um, and then safety, don't pick a dangerous place. Again, hopefully if you're picking your own yard or the park, that is a pretty safe place. So permission and safety are two things to keep in mind. Number six says know your spot. Like don't pick somewhere where you're going to get yourself lost. And again, hopefully if you're picking the park or your own yard, you're not going to get lost. Um, and number seven says you can consider choosing a partner. It's great to have another set of eyes and ears when doing this. If you do pick a partner, which again, that's perfectly fine, pick someone that has the same class as you and you guys can work together as long as you maintain all the social distance, all those rules that you're supposed to maintain. I'm okay with you working with a partner. Um, and that's all about picking a location. Let's look here. So the work that you'll be doing each week, there's a big old document that has the entire project, but that's just for you to look at. Each week I'm gonna post like week one assignment for the quarter project, like week two assignment for the quarter project, week three assignment. Like this week, only focus on the week one post because you're gonna do your work right inside these Google Slides. So the first thing you do is pick your location. You're gonna describe it. The thing that says Google Maps satellite view, what that means is like if let's say you pick your own front yard or your own backyard, go to Google Maps and type in your address and take a screenshot, and then boom, that's a map of your ecosystem. If you pick, I don't know, Lions Park or something like that in Bonner Springs, go to Google Maps, type in Lions Park, boom, take a screenshot, and that's the satellite map of your ecosystem. So you're going to take a little screenshot of that, put it in here. You're going to fill out the descriptions. You're going to take pictures of your ecosystem. If it could be a few different points of view. If it's your backyard, just boom, 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 take some pictures, throw those in here. In your pictures, you're going to want to be able to see the biodiversity. You're going to want to see the plants and bugs and dirt and all that good stuff. But you'll have three different views here. And then here's where this week's, like, that portion was just picking your location. And then now we're going to talk about this week's chunk of the project, where we talk about the abiotic and biotic factors, so the non-living things and the living things. You're going to go through, read this information. It tells you about different things. And you're going to stop and see these questions that there's these little 2-minute videos. You're going to watch the clips. And as you go through, you're going to answer questions. Like the first objective is to watch the video. And then next you're going to answer the question about water from the video. Then you're going to answer the question about soil and nutrients from the video. And then answer the question about temperature from the video. Answer the question about air from the video. And then that's it on that portion. Now here's the first portion where you are doing some work in your ecosystem. Be prepared. You're going to get your hands a little dirty. That's okay. A little dirt never hurt anybody. But you're going to study the soil. You're going to look at a little bit of the dirt, a little bit of the soil, All the instructions are right here in this Google Slides presentation. There's some links to click and some answers to answer as you go through it. Click the link, answer the question, click the link, answer the question. And then eventually, there's a little mini quiz that makes sure you know what you're talking about when you look at soil and minerals, and you're going to put a little screenshot of your quiz score right in there. And then finally, after this little bit of information, it's going to tell you how to go outside and measure the health of the soil from your ecosystem. And then there's a spot to put a little bit of notes and a photo of your soil, a little bit more notes, another photo of your soil. There's 3 spots for that. And then finally, you answer some questions about water and sunlight and air. So week 1 is all about basically the abiotic things, the non-living things like soil, water, air. And that's it. Like, once you get to this point, that's it for this week's part of the project. Like, you're not going to do any more. And that's why I didn't give you additional assignments on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend, obviously. After Monday and Tuesday, you can 100% use the whole week to focus on this portion of the project. The one note I wanted to make about the water source, obviously, if you pick your backyard, not everyone's backyard is going to have like a pond or a stream. So that's why it says if applicable. So answer the questions. What's the main source of water? Your answer might just be rain. There might not be a body of water, and that's a totally fine answer. If you don't have a water source, just tell me in that little box, no picture because I don't have a water source. And that's totally fine. So once you get to this air quality part, you're finished for this week's portion of the project. And then we will see next week, it'll be a slightly different portion, and I'll go through all that stuff as well. And I know that might seem like a big, fast crash course, but hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory. If you read all the slides in that project, you're going to know exactly what you need to do.